Hello and welcome back to the channel. Here's a lovely cool Monday morning and apparently it's not going to rain, so everyone tells me. It's not. I don't care. They said it's going to rain from 2 o'clock. Our plan for today is, there's the steel. Hollow box section, 160mm by 80 by 5mm is going obviously up here. So what we're going to do is put a couple of chocks that height, one either side, so we can kind of lift it, get it on, then we can all get under it then, and then just get it pushed into place. It's going here, so we're just going to raise this in. That's why we haven't fixed it all yet, so that this still pushes up. Easy peasy. Got our special jacks there. We'll put a board across the top, one either side, raise it up, just to give us a bit of extra wiggle room, just to get the steel up and slid into that space. Then we just let the jacks down, boom, done and dusted. And from that point, we're going to sort of then go across and like use the planer on the top of these joists, because some of them are sticking up even though they're flush at the bottom. All right, top, so we get that done as well. And then we're going to put in these pieces of wood in here to give the plasterboard something to carry on to. And then it'll be putting the roof on. So yes, happy day. So a bit of heavy lifting start of the day, but that's how we like a Monday, isn't it, Dad?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, yeah. See the enthusiasm, you can sense it coming through, can't you? You can really feel it. So yeah.
It's extra money that comes in handy.
I gotta pay them. They should have said something. Right, here's a question I get all the time. Steels. Steels. I'm doing like a video, but you can talk over it as well. Okay. So when you put the steels up, which we've obviously done, so you can now see that from the front, that's actually an easy lift, wasn't it? That wasn't a difficult lift, that one. No. See, 3 blokes, easy. So there you go, sit in place. So all I'm doing now is we've had to bespoke build this lovely bit of wood, so that's now there. We just planed it at the front, so it'd fit a bit flusher, which the screws will do in a minute. And people ask, how do you sort of get this wood attached to the steel? And the answer is these little bad boys, just there. And what they are is, again, tool station, Tech Fast roofing and cladding screws. So we're using a 5.5 by 80s, which is perfectly great. And what they are is they're a little like star, which you get in a box anyway. But then all you do is you grab your impact driver. So what I actually do, to be fair, is I just 5mm pilot the wood first, so straight in, and then it's still this is clever, this. Done. How brilliant is that? We're quite impressed with these, aren't we?
We are.
They're very, very nice. So they don't take too long to go, but you think that's like, what's it, 5-8mm like steel. That's pretty impressive. And they're light as a feather, like you sort of pick one up and you go, no chance is that going through there. But it really does. And if you look at the end, if I could just, can you just see that? There's the camera, that's all, that's it. So you just see it's got a very slight sort of, very special shaft. And what that does is, it just nibs through the steel as it goes, cuts through, and that's it, self-tapping straight in. So there you go. That's how we're going to secure that. I'll chuck all these screws on, sort of, I don't know, every sort of 15 inches or whatever. Just enough that you know it's going to hold it in place, and then that gives us something to put our plasterboard onto, you see. So once the window's in, plasterboard above it, boom, that's stuck to that, that's fitted to that. It's fitted underneath as well, it's been nailed in the sides. So that just keeps that bit still in place absolutely beautifully. We'll put a couple on the front as well through the OSB, which will fit to this bit. So there's one in over here already, and we'll stick one over there. And that is it. That's how you do it. That's how you put your steel up. And obviously having 3 blokes really helps with that. So yeah.
Come to me in it. I'll tell you where it is.
Where what?
Name the place.
The walking place.
We can drive there and walk up.
You what? Yeah, second fix, yeah, I have, yeah. That's how we roll. Nice little chat in the banter. Right, so what we've got so far is that what have we done? So the steel is now in place. Beautiful, all the way across. These are obviously the screws now holding it all in place. Underneath is now fixed. So John is now going around fixing the upside down joist hangers. So this just stops any sort of lift from wind underneath, putting the roof upwards. So all pinned in, lovely jubbly. We've put these little bits of noggins in here, now you can see across the end. So that now means that the plasterboard can now ride right to the surface, and you've got a fixing for it. I've got one board up, we're about to chuck up a load more, and then we're going to start working our way and actually fixing all those on the roof as well. So I'll do a video showing you how we're doing that later on as well. Beautiful. Right, so me and Dad are up on the roof. There is a song in there somewhere by Robson and Jerome if you want to play it. It's a good tune. Right, here you go. So what we've done is we've levelled up the first board to the back end of the building here. We then put the other one next to it, so kind of button them up, okay? So you know that's going to be the straight line. What you then do is put a third one on across the centre of that joint, so there you go. So you know that every board is going to be nice and tight as it runs through, okay? So there's no like major league gaps or anything else like that. We've worked out to get onto a joist here, so we just move this board across a little bit, so that's through the centre of a joist, which gives us a teeny tiny little overhang here, which we'll use plunge saw just to cut that off, trim that bit off, done. And then that means we're allowing ourselves to pick up on the joist here as well, which is perfect. And then over this end, again, just marked it, and we'll just chop through there, just so it sits on a joist. Beautiful. So that way you sort of minimise your floating edges. We actually, normally I'd use tongue and groove for the roofing, but I couldn't get hold of any. So what we're going to do is use the 8x4 sheets of OSB3, but Dad's got a biscuit joiner. So we're going to use a biscuit jointer to biscuit joint all the joints of the board. So we'll glue it, biscuit joint it, so it's essentially tongue and grooving it, and that stuff will stay there forever. So yeah, pretty tough. So we'll get on with this. We've nailed the far end one just to keep that one straight, so it's not going to wiggle around and move anywhere. And then we can start working on these ones. So yeah, that's the start. That's how you start to lay it out and work it out. Once you've done this part, you're golden. It's straightforward from there, but you need to make sure you kind of run into the joists and working it all out, and then where your level's going to be. Beautiful. I was just about to start a video and Dad's knelt in the 5-minute glue. So that's good fun. Right, this is a biscuit joiner for all of you who do not know what a biscuit joiner is. Show him, Dad.
Biscuit joiner.
It's very good. So what we do is... You see that? That was quick, that was, wasn't it? I bet you barely saw anything happen then. I'll just grab some of these as well. This is how prepared we are for doing videos and that. We do it live, we do it real. This is how it goes.
Where's your pencil?
Right there. So what you do is you go along first and mark off, well, we've done B's for biscuit joint. So we've done them every 3 inch, 2 foot, and then 10.5 inch off the last mark. That'll make sense later. You then use a straight edge to mark off beautifully there. So I've done to do that both sides. And what we're essentially doing is,
Machine.
that's for the machine that is, we're using these little biscuit jointers to make sure that these are pinned together. So at every point, where's a B now, that will go in there like so. So it kind of sits like that. It's called a biscuit. We've tried dunking them. They don't taste that good and they're really chewy, no matter how long you leave it in a tea for. But this machine is what actually creates and cuts out that little joint. So out of there is a blade, that shape. It'll cut a notch in that space, glue that in there, push the balls together, and that is it. You are done. That is now connected and joined and beautiful. So Dad's just finishing off the last little few marks on that side. And like I say, when you're doing these things, it really is about just getting the first few boards in, getting them right, makes your life a lot easier later on because it all just runs perfectly then. And like I say, I would have done the whole tongue and groove, which is what I normally do for the roofing joints, but couldn't get hold of the stuff, so I had to go for like these sheets. So we're trying to figure out whether this is a quick way of doing it or not, because obviously they're bigger boards, so you cover more area faster. When you're having to biscuit joint, it's supposed to run a dab of glue across the joint. Is it quicker? Is it not? We'll let you know later.
I take it that's the biscuit one.
That's the B one. And then one more B. Done. How simple is it? How quick is that? And that is what's going to keep all these boards together. So it's the end of the day. It's been blooming hot again. But check it out. Look at this. We now have a fully boarded roof. Do a little tap dance. Tap dance up it, Dad?
Yeah, careful, it won't fall in.
He's right, no, it wouldn't. I hope not. He upbuild it. So yeah, I think it'll be all right. So yeah, this is all done. So what we're gonna do is chuck tarp over it for tonight, just in case it does rain. Just want to keep it dry, ready for the rubber, which is already on site for fitting tomorrow. So the roof will be on and glued tomorrow, which is splendiferous. I'll go downstairs and I'll show you what John Boy's been up to today as well. It's very exciting. Right, so I'm gonna come down and you can now see what John's been up to. So you can now see, look at that. Lovely PIR insulation going in all the gaps. So it's not pushed up to the roof yet because the roof wasn't all above it, you see what I mean? So that'll all get pushed absolutely flush against the OSB, which is gonna be lovely. He's finished off the front walls as well because he's a legend. There we go, all done. He also put all these like upside down hangers. They're now all connected and joined in, so this roof is now officially officialed. Obviously, like I said, the boards are all on top as well, all marked up and nailed through into the joist, so there's no nails missing on either side, so it's nice and secured because we took the time to mark it, like we discussed earlier, so it's all done. So yeah, bloody happy day. So John tomorrow will continue with the internal installation, push all these up nice and tight. Expansion gap, any gaps there's going to be, so like bits and pieces like that, that'll all get, sorry, bring a better angle, there you go, you can see it, so that'll be like expanding foam with fire retardant stuff put in. And then it will be me and Dad putting a roof up. We then got the internal dividing wall to build. And then we've got the vapor barrier on board as well, so we can potentially start vapor barriering. Yeah, it's good, man. It's really good. Happy days this is. Right, so there you go. So if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Really helps me out. Really appreciate all the nice comments I'm getting and stuff like that. So yeah, anything I can help you with, just leave a comment. If I don't get back to you straight away, I will, I promise. That's what I do. So yeah, ask away and I shall see you all tomorrow. Have a nice one, guys.